Let's talk about angle of elevation and depression. John mathematics. So I want to solve question one, question two, question three. This is going to be the first video, right? Going to be part one, part two, part three, or part four. So going to be about four series videos, four series videos on this angle of what elevation and what and depression. Now, what I want to say is that trigonometry play a big role when it comes to what angle of elevation and what depression. You can see angle 30, angle 30, I can also see angle 60. So now, if you have not watched my video on trigonometry, it's very important to go check the video on trigonometry because you're going to use the special angle. Remember, in three identities, we have in three ratio, we have called angle 90, we have angle 90, which is normal. But the main one is what angle 30, angle 60, and angle what 45. I'm going to use them. So let me explain what I call angle of elevation and depression. If, for example, here, this is a building, right? This is a tall building, and a guy is standing here, right? And the guy is standing here. Then this is another guy watching this guy, right? Now, here we have this point. Here we have what this point here, right? Now, this guy is viewing this guy at this angle here, right? Why this one is viewing at this angle here? So here we have this angle here, and here we have what this angle here, right? Now here we have angle here we have this one here, right? Now these two angles are this called angle of depression, the angle of elevation. So this guy that is viewing this guy down is called angle of what depression, angle of what of depression. Why is it called what angle of what? This one is called angle of what of elevation. Do you understand? Now they are called alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. So this theta here is equal to what? This one here. This is that they are called alternate angles. Alternate angles. They are called alternate what angles? They are called alternate what angles. This is that they are called what? Alternate angles. Now the angle of elevation can be used to calculate the distance between 2 points, or the height. Do you understand? Or the height of a building. Do you understand? So that what angle of elevation and depression is used for. You can use to calculate the distance between this guy and the point, distance between 2 points, or it can also be used to calculate what angle of elevation and depression. It can also be used to calculate what the height of a building. Do you understand? So these are things you actually go to look at in this what angle of elevation and depression. Now another thing you want to look at again is what is special angles. So in the special angles, which is very important in trigonometry, in the special angle in trigonometry, right? Now remember we have what we call angle 45. Please go and check out my videos. Go and check out my video on trigonometry. It's not that you don't know trigonometry, because I've done part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6. These have done up to part 6 of trigonometry, because trigonometry is very long, right? So I will encourage you to go check out that video. It's very important. Now let's look at what the special angles, right? So you have what angle what 30 and angle what 60, right? So you have square root of what 3, and here we have 2, here we have what 1. Do you understand? So you have to take note of this one here, very important. The other one you need to take note of is what is angle what 45. 45. Here is square root of 2, here we have 1. It's okay. So you have to take note of this thing here, because they are very important here. So like I want the first question, please just pay close attention. You understand it? Pay close attention. Is that a surveyor walks 500 meters up a hill, which slope at an angle of 60. What is the vertical height? What is vertical height through which it rises? Look at something here. They say a surveyor walks 500 meters up a hill with a slope at an angle. That is, here we have a hill. Let us say this is the hill, right? A surveyor walks right? A surveyor works, because this one you have to what illustrate the drawing here. Now, this is the height of the E. Do you understand? A surveyor works here. Right there. A surveyor works 500 meter up the E. 500 what meter up the E. Right? Which slope at an angle? Now, the slope, like slope is the slope here. The angle is what? The angle is what is 30 degrees. Do you see that? So that is the slope at what the angle here is what is 30 what degree. Do you understand? What they say she calculate? Say she will calculate what the height at which it raised. Can you see that? So the first thing I want to understand here is that angle of elevation and pressure can be used to calculate what the height of a building, which is this one here. Now here we have the word angle here. So remember, in SOHCAHTOA, you are still going to use SOHCAHTOA. Right there. Now, in SOHCAHTOA, that is why you need to have a good understanding of what trigonometry, because angle of elevation and depression is trigonometry. You use major part of trigonometry. You understand? So now here we have, remember, here's what is my opposite, and here's what is my hypotenuse. You understand? Now here you are looking for the opposite. You are looking for the what? For the opposite, because this angle is opposite to this one. Do you understand? So you are going to use which is what opposite over what hypotenuse, which is going to be sine 30. On the science, you're going to be what sine 30 degree equals what opposite over what hypotenuse, right? Which is what 500 what meter, right? Now, but here in special angle sine theta, sine 30, right? Opposite sine 30 here, we was sine 30. Opposite about what hypotenuse called 1 over 2. So sine 30 degree equals to what? Opposite, which is what 1 over what hypotenuse, which is what is 2, equals to what h over what 500. Please check out my video. Go and check out my video on trigonometry. It's very, very important to check out that video. It's very, very important, because without trigonometry, you cannot understand these things. If, for example, now you don't know all these things here I'm talking about, there's no way you'll be able to solve this problem. Do you understand? So that is why trigonometry is very, very important in mathematics. So the good thing here, so let us equate this one together here. Here we have 1 over 2 equals to what? H over what? 500. So let me make this guy solve formula here. If you make this guy solve formula here, what are you going to get? Going to be 2h equals to what? 500. Divide both sides by what? 2. Also by 2. My h equals to what? 250 what meter. So the height of the vertical height of the E is what? Is 250 what meter. Do you understand? That is what? That's the answer. So that is what question what 1. Now here say here we have, I'm going to change value here so I can solve the same questions using what different values. Now let us say here we have 380, and here we have angle what 60 degree. How are you going to solve it? So please solve it here. Drop your answer at the comment section. Very important. Solve it and drop your answer at the comment section. That is what the first question. So we are done with this first one here, right? So let's look at what second question here. They say that the angle of depression of a boat from the top of a cliff. The angle, look at something here. The angle of depression of a boat from the top of a cliff, 10 meter high. So here we have look at something. The height of a cliff is what is 10 meter high there. So they say that the angle, let us say this is the guy here, right? This is the what is pointing here. Now you see that the angle of depression, right, from the top, the angle of depression of a boat from the top of a cliff is this, right? Now let us say this is the boat. This is the boat here, right? This is the boat. Right, the angle of what of the pressure is like this, is what is 30 what degree. This is what is 30 what degree. So now remember, the angle of elevation is the angle of the pressure here, because due to what alternate what angles, right? So here we have what so that's what you say should be for how far is the boat from the foot of the cliff? How far? So they're asking you to calculate from here the how far. So let us say here is what is y. Here is now what y. So this is the stuff here. So here we are what 30 here. Now remember, here is what is my opposite. Here's what is my what adjacent. This that. So now what is it? How do I look for this guy here? Remember, I'm using what so ka right? Here we have opposite and what an adjacent here, right? Opposite of over what adjacent, opposite over adjacent. We're going to be what tan, right? So we are using tan theta, tan theta equals to what the opposite over what adjacent, right? Now since is 30 here, this implies that what tan 30 equals to what opposite, which is what is 10 meter, what adjacent, which is what is y. Can you see that? So let's look at this one here. Let's look at this guy here. In the special angle here, my opposite over adjacent, right? Tan. So tan 30 degree equals what opposite, which is what 1 over what adjacent, which was square root of what of 3 equals to what 10 meter over what y. Is okay. So when I wish to rationalize this guy here, if you should rationalize it here, when you see this is a short form. If you have checked short very well, so it's the short form, right? You're going to be what? Let's rationalize it separately here. 1 over square root of 3 times square root of 3 over square root of 3 equals to what? Square root of 3 over 3. This is that. So once you rationalize the whole of this one here, here we are what? Square root of 3 over square root of over what 3. So we're going to be square root of 3 over 3 equals to 10 meter over what y. This is that. So let's make this guy the square formula. If you should make this guy the square formula, when you cross multiply, what will happen here? What will happen here? Give out what y square root of 3 equals to what 30, right? Divide both sides by what square root of 3, right? So what will happen here is that, please, I can't write this place here, so I need to write this place here so I can see space to solve no problem, right? So what will happen here? What will happen? My y is what 30 over square root of 3. This is that. Hope you are following. So once you like rationalize here, square root of 3 over square root of 3. So 30 square root of 3 over what 3, right? This cancel out this here. I would 10 square root of 3. That is the what? That is the answer. It's okay. So we are done with this guy and this guy here. Just done. So let's have question 3. Look at our question 3. Look at our question 3. So it says that the angle of depression of a car from the 5th floor of a building is 60 degrees. If the car is 20 meters from the building, calculate the height of the building. So it says that, let's check it very well here. Now the angle of depression is okay. The angle of depression of a car from the 5th floor of a building is, so here we have the car, is okay. So what up here? If they say is 60 what degree, right? Since it's 60 degree, here you go to what 60 what degree, because they are called alternating what angles, right? So here we have what this one here. What happens is that when they say you calculate, if the car is 20 meters from the building, so this car is 20 meters from the building here, 20 what meter, right? So calculate the height, calculate the height of the building, which is the height here. Height of the building. This is that. Just now, which is the height of the building. Is okay. So here we have opposites over what? Adjacent. Opposites over what? Adjacent. So is okay. Opposites over what? Adjacent. Because here we have the opposite and the adjacent. Now the height of the building is the opposite. It's going to be a sign. Opposite over what? No, opposite over what? Adjacent. You're going to be tan. Just that. I want to use this one here. Tan. Opposite over what? Adjacent here, right? So it'll be tan 60 degree is equals to what? Opposite, which is what? H over what? Adjacent, which is what? 20, right? So let's look at what 60 here. Opposite over adjacent. Remember, here is 1. It's okay. They are what my triangle. Opposite over what? Adjacent here, right? So going to be square root of what? 3 over 1 equals to H over 20. This is our so if you what? Make this guy a sort of formula here. Go up here, cross multiply, right? So what are you going to get? You're going to be H equals to 20 square root of what? Of 3. This is not the answer. So we are done with this. We are done with this here. All these videos, if we go to be the part 1. So we are still going to do part 2, part 3, and part 4 till we finish what? Angle of what? Of elevation, what? And depression.